Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
G'day, mate. I'm Corey.
I'm Austin.
Yeah, I'm not the game bastard today because we're playing Jane Austen's Good Society,
Yeah.
and I'm just another player.
Hence the g'day, mate. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is not that. No, that's Australia.
I'm going to have problems with this game.
Very different kind of quest today.
Shit.
Yeah, so this is Jane Austen's, or this is Good Society, a Jane Austen RPG. This came out a year or two ago, and the company is storybrewersroleplaying.com. That's the company. And I think they're actually in Australia. So
See?
yeah.
Not entirely inappropriate.
Yeah, so this is a game that takes place in Regency period England, late 1700s, and we're all members of high society, essentially jockeying for money, marriage, and the ability to call the Vicar a bit of a bore. Yeah, these are all very respectable English folk. No, not folk. That's a terrible word. They would never call themselves that.
Not poor, Kyle.
Yeah, English gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond. They're on Broadway in Paducah. They have lots of delicious bourbon and all kinds of other booze. And we have their latest barrel pick. It's from Knob Creek. It is called Sunrise. It is only available at Barrel and Bond. It's delicious. Go get drunk on it.
It's owned by werewolves. So keep that in mind when you go in.
So let's go around and introduce who we're going to be playing. Austin, do you want to start?
Sure. So the character that I'm playing today is Burgess Custard Bath. The hedonistic party host. He's a very stylish man. I'd just like to say that my beautiful wife, Rebecca, gave me a long list of suggested Regency era and Victorian era names that we could use for our characters.
Yeah, and she would not have been able to do that if she were not beautiful. Is that what you're saying? An ugly woman couldn't pull that off?
I mean, as this is the Regency, obviously that is true.
Well, as someone very, very well studied in Jane Austen literature.
Spoiler, we're not.
So keep an eye out.
I mean,
Not going to be a lot of in jokes in this one.
homely women can't even read, can they?
Oh, no, God forbid.
So in the process of creating these characters, very much like in Green Knight, we kind of picked these archetypes that kind of informed a lot of the different aspects of our characters. So I chose hedonist, and there's several different things that come with that. Each archetype has its own desires, its own connection characters, and a lot of the little details that we kind of fill out as we go along. So the desire associated with my hedonist is to find true love, actually. But there's a catch. We all got these desire cards as part of our character build.
And your character's only attracted to werewolves. And not when they're in human form. So only 1 week of the month.
No, my character's desire is to fall in love. But you want to bolster your love interest reputation and then win your parents' permission to marry them. Because that's the kind of shit that had to happen back then.
Now, are you playing a man or a woman?
Man.
Corey?
Yeah, the type of character I chose is the new arrival, which is a foreigner coming up in this. Her name is Belle Woods. She's 22 years of age. She's actually from America, North Carolina to be specific, and for a reason, which I will unleash later. And like Austin said, these characters kind of come with pre-made desires on a little card. Mine is not as cut and dry as Austin's, where he just wants to be in love. My desire is actually selfishness. It says selfishness must always be forgiven, because there is no hope of a cure. And there's some things that tied in with that. Belle's kind of she's looking kind of to make connections more than anything is basically what that means. But for her selfish needs.
So she's a social climber.
Crawler. She's an odd woman, as you'll find out. Yeah. But yeah, that's the gist of Belle.
Todd?
My character is the Meddler, and her name is Lucy Crockpot.
No trademark infringement intended.
She is 40 years of age, very elaborately dressed She comes from kind of a common family, but they were industrialists, and so they're kind of new money. They haven't always been part of high society.
They're industrialists, it's new money. They just made their own.
They did.
We've invented a printer. Dash cutting device.
We need more crockpot bucks.
You just put a chicken in, and after 8 hours, you have $1,000.
It smelts.
Chicken smelter.
And her desire is to restore her reputation and be forgiven by her former friend. She has a friend that she created a rumor about, and they are no longer friends, and she just wants to be forgiven for that and be friends with them again. But she's very much a gossip and loves to spread rumors, whether they are true or not.
And Kyle gets to play a character on this one.
Yeah, so I have a character that's my own. I'm not the GM this time, and so my character is Niles Witherpick. Oh, hey there, I'm Niles Witherpick. I am wry and I'm rigid. I was in the military, maybe still am. I don't know. It's not really conclusive.
Is that where you picked up the accent?
Yeah, maybe. I fought in Canada against Canadians. Quebecois, the Acadians, the French.
Oh, and like, there's a lot of things we kind of chose in the setup for this game. It gives you options. One was like, history doesn't matter. So there very well could have been a giant battle with military power Canada.
Well, technically, history doesn't matter wasn't an option. We just wrote that in.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, because there are several things that we specifically chose.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
one of the things that we chose to kind of alter about this world is the kind of patriarchal nature of the Regency era.
Yeah.
Genders are equal.
Yes. So yeah, we kind of cut that out entirely, and just any gender can hold any position, basically.
But like things like, okay, well, the oldest son is in line to inherit the fortune before the daughter, etc.
Right.
That doesn't matter.
No, that doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Just firstborn child.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the third son, and my older sister, Evelyn. She's not also the oldest, but she's a physician. She's a really good physician. Anyway, my goal, my desire is a large income is the best recipe for happiness I ever heard of. But also maple syrup.
Boy, you really caught a lot of
I'm just kidding. It's money.
Canada.
I was
Same
not-
thing in Canada.
No, yeah. So, Austin, do you want to go over some of those other options that we went through at the beginning?
Some of the details that we made note of were, as you kind of set up this game, you can try to point out things you want to avoid. So we kind of left out anything gratuitous or violent. We're not looking to. Nobody's shit's going to get poisoned while they're at a blue blood party.
It's not Dune.
In this game. Yeah.
Yes.
What we're looking for is dramatic romance through farcical intrigue.
We're going to try to play it pretty straight in terms of the setting conventions.
Yeah, and the way Kyle kind of described this game to us early on was like, we're essentially creating chapters in a Jane Austen novel.
Yes.
And so the rules are way different. There are no dice in this game.
No, which I'm somewhat offended by.
We're out of our comfort zone.
I'm going to try to overcome it.
But there is like a currency. Like if you listen to Dune, we had like what were those?
Threat and momentum.
Yeah. We have a similar kind of thing with this game, which is reputation.
Yeah, actually, in this game, weirdly enough, it's reputation and the spice melange. That's one of the that's one of the other currencies you have.
No, you
weird.
can use things that happen with your reputation to give you resolve tokens, basically, which you can spend in order to make certain actions happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game based on Jane Austen's novels set in the Regency period in England, amongst the gentlemanly class. It is a game about reputation, earning it and losing it. That's what it's about.
In addition to our characters that we've set up, we're also given connections to other characters, both PC and NPC. Although that's not really accurate because even the NPCs are going to be played by the four of us.
They're referred to as supporting cast.
Yeah, we're playing major characters, and there's supporting cast, which we will also play, but they're not the most important.
Right. For example, my supporting cast character is Christine, who is actually connected to Corey's character, Belle. Christine is a friend. She's a good Samaritan. She's married, and she's idealistic, but very white privileged.
Yeah.
What is Christine's last name, Kyle?
Frankenberry.
Yeah, so we
yeah.
created our own side character and then chose each other's is how this game works. Like I chose Austin's father, Edwin, who's an imposing army colonel.
Yes. Now, I do want to point out that Christine Frankenberry is not from the Northampton Frankenberries.
Right.
Oh, perish the thought.
She's from the Sandbottom Frankenberries,
Yeah.
which is the town we're playing in, Sandbottom.
Yeah, she doesn't live near the Sackville
Yeah.
Bagginses or anything.
So do you want to tell us more about Edwin, or is that all we need to know?
Oh, yeah, Edwin, it looks like you wrote Custard Death on here. It's
It's Custard Bath.
yeah, Edwin,
I expect I spend a lot of time correcting people's pronunciation of my name.
yeah, Edwin is Austin's character's father, Burgess, right?
Yes.
He's 45 years old. He's proud of Burgess, but since Burgess is a hedonist, he's worried about, get your shit together, son, and settle down, like that kind of thing.
I'd like to point out one of the little interesting bits about Colonel Custard Bath is that a lot of his...
He killed somebody with a candlestick.
That was what I was about to say.
In the
He-
library.
He has an endearing nickname amongst his army buddies, which is just Colonel Mustard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Always
that
like,
is
that's
a-
not my name.
Yeah.
That is an Austin nickname we will mention here and never reference again.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Austin's
Because
always
we'll
trying to
forget it.
What is you with you and nicknames that are awful? Every one of your characters.
I've never had... Look, how easy is it to come up with a nickname for somebody named Austin?
Yeah, but you can't make up your. That is just known. You can't.
I know. I'm just living vicariously through my
Okay.
characters.
Well, we're gonna give you a
Through
nickname.
trying to force you guys to give me a nickname.
We're gonna give you one right now for you personally, and it's Bad Nickname Generator.
I'll take it.
Henceforth,
BNG.
BNG.
Bing.
It sounds like a company that exports chemicals from Serbia.
Austin, which character did you choose as far as your secondary character?
So I am a supporting character of Todd's. My character's name is Marion Poppins, who's a distant cousin of Lucy Crockpot, and also vaguely obsessed with her.
The side character that I have is connected to Kyle's character, Niles Witherpick, and it's his brother, Evelyn.
Sister.
Oh,
She's just very manly.
okay, gotcha.
There are faces drawn on the cards for these
Yeah,
characters.
she's a handsome woman.
Okay, so it's Evelyn Witherpick, a successful physician.
Now, there are other side characters, supporting characters that could be relevant. Well, we created them, and they're set to the side. They may get introduced, they may not. If they become relevant, we'll obviously introduce who these people are. But just bear in mind that new characters get dropped in. The final aspect of the major characters is their relationships between one another. These were cards that we got, and we traded these around. For example, the friend that Todd's character Lucy burned is my character Niles. So I have the former friend card. The giver of this card wronged the taker painfully and completely.
Oh,
Lucy wronged me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, now she screwed me over, and I'm never gonna forgive her. And if I get a chance, I'm going to talk bad about her to her mom.
Which Lucy's character is like, what, 45?
She's 40.
Yeah,
Yeah, so her mom's definitely dead.
yeah, 40 is very near
her
death.
mom's 45 years old. The 1700s, you guys.
So my relationship card that I received was from Kyle, and it is Rival. The giver and taker of this card are rivals. For the taker, this may be a trivial rivalry. For the giver, it is certainly a bitter one. So Niles definitely hates Burgess.
I hate Burgess.
Burgess may or may not know he exists.
Oh, he's gonna know. I'm gonna steal his pumpkins.
The card I received was from Austin. I'm the object of Austin's affection.
Yeah.
The giver of this card is clearly in love with the taker. That doesn't mean I have to love him back.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Or
Actually,
even understand what love is.
my modus operandi is to ensure that you don't.
Okay.
My relationship is best of friends. I received that from Corey.
Yes.
Me and Lucy and Belle are the most intimate companions, long-standing friends, and are well disposed to help with each other's plans and endeavors.
It's weird. Because Belle's like 22. I don't know how long they would know each other, but
Hour and a half.
Yeah, and not from this country. But time moves differently in the 1700s. You don't have that much time to live.
Like a week is 7 years.
Yeah, it's like biblical time.
We're basically elves to those people. So the game Good Society is played out in, it's called a phase cycle. And there's various essential pieces to this. So the first part is the novel chapter. That is where we play out scenes like you would expect in a normal role-playing game. The premise being that the parts of that novel are divided into chapters. We're playing one chapter. The next cycle is the reputation, where we review what happened in the novel chapter and assign any negative or positive reputations that may have occurred. Then we do a rumor and scandal phase, which we create or spread rumors. Then we do an epistolary, which is characters writing letters. A character can write 2 letters from a major character or connection. Then we do a novel chapter again. Then we go back to the reputation phase, back to the epistolary, and then to upkeep, where we essentially refresh resolve tokens, review collaboration, kind of regather our wits, and continue back to novel chapter. And that's the cycle that goes around and around until everybody's dead. I mean, until the story ends. Sorry, we just played Dune. No one will die. Unless it's like from natural causes or falling off a horse.
Or werewolves.
Look, it's Jane Austen. We can't not include the werewolves.
Yes.
The final phase is asteroid hurtling toward Earth.
Yeah.
They're called God rocks back then.
Colonel Chester, tally another god rock.
Another god rock fell on Surrey.
Yeah. Dash cunning of God.
They must sin over there.
One of them is an Episcopalian. So, for our novel chapter, in the town of Sandbottom, we
SpongeBob lives there.
at the beginning of each we have to decide if this chapter type is an event, a visitation, or a split. So an event is exactly what it sounds like. It is a ball, a wedding, a birthday party, some kind of event where it's assumed all the characters are there, unless somebody plays a resolve to make sure that doesn't happen.
A public sacrifice.
Yeah, human sacrifice.
Gotta keep the werewolves away.
A hanging.
The werewolves killing people. Yeah. Let's kill people to make it stop. It's 1700s logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a hanging, a bris, whatever. Then there's a visitation. A visitation is when one character goes to meet another. It could be another major character going, or it could be somebody going to talk to their connections or what have you. And then it could be a split. So a split is essentially when there are 2 scenes that are taking place concurrently and correspond to each other. For example, the classic from a romantic comedy would be one character's getting married to the person they shouldn't marry. Another major character is trying to get there as fast as they can to ruin the wedding.
Yeah.
That would be a split.
Okay.
So what we need to decide is how our novel is going to start. And I think an event is the way to go. What ideas for an event that could unite all our characters at the beginning of this novel called Sandbottom Follies?
So I would imagine the Custard Bath Estate is commonly host to many of social events that go on.
How about a nice picnic?
Okay.
Ooh, that sounds
That's
delightful.
something they do.
Cucumber sandwiches.
It's a half moon. It's safe. Yeah, what if werewolves are it's just a common thing, but everybody knows
sure.
but we've learned how to live with it.
My uncle Bernard is a werewolf. Well, he's half werewolf on his mother's side.
Right.
So I'm not the GM. I'm not the facilitator. So one of you can set the scene if you wish.
Okay, so Corey, Bill is new in town.
Yes.
Todd, Lucy is a wealthy, kind of older character, probably knows and has a bit of influence over most everyone in the group. So maybe you're introducing Bill to the group. And Kyle, we're bitter enemies, so we're probably picnicking together.
Yeah, we do everything together.
Yeah,
I hate you.
Just on opposite ends of the blanket.
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank Mr. Custard Bath for providing his grounds to have this lovely and charming picnic.
It's my pleasure. You're very welcome.
And I hope you don't mind, but I brought along a friend.
Oh?
She's an American.
Oh.
That's right. We've been friends for a long, long time. We are intimates. She is lovely. I think you're really, really going to like her. May I introduce to you Miss Belle Woods?
Hi. So we're all on the grounds of this grand estate. There's a couple of, carefully manicured trees around. There's some blankets laid out, picnic baskets, and there's just this American barbarian.
So Belle she's wearing a dress. It's shabby, and she has no shoes on. Welcome, eat. So I do want to reveal something about Belle. This doesn't necessarily have bearing on the characters involved, but for y'all's benefit, Belle actually, she is an ancestor. One of her descendants is actually a famous person, and she's from, like I said, she's from North Carolina. What a lot of people don't know is the world of Jane Austen is actually a shared universe with another IP. Belle is the ancestor of the famous Jodie Foster character Nell from the famous
Of course she is.
film Nell. Now, she's not fully... She's the originator of the tribe. So she's not quite as bad as Belle. She can communicate somewhat.
Wish the audience could see how quickly Kyle's face just fell.
Oh, God. I don't know what I expected. So you can see Lucy and Burgess looking on in horror at this abomination, while behind them, my character Niles pours a small bit of brandy into a glass, throws the glass away, and just starts chugging the brandy while this American talks.
Oh, Lucy is not looking on in horror. That's
Belle sees the liquor, outstretches both hands and goes, "Sip now, please."
Burgess is enchanted.
It would be hedonistic for him to be into it.
Hello there, Belle. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Yep.
Would you care for a snifter of brandy?
She just cups her hands and holds it out like, "Sip."
Oh, gosh. I couldn't possibly pour brandy into your hands.
A hand suddenly appears in front of Niles' face, holding a little snifter of brandy, and it's Burgess saying, "Would you care for a cuppa?"
Lucy snatches the snifter from Burgess's hand and just pours it into Nail's cup. into Belle's cupped hands.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was a tradition. Is that customary for your land?
Belle just kind of disregards him and starts lapping the liquor and takes it down really quickly.
Looks like you're really enjoying it.
And goes, "Burn, drink."
Niles is obviously horrified.
Isn't she delightful?
Oh, hey there, Lucy. Delightful are words that could be used in describing people. Agreed.
Burgess is standing with his hands on his hips, just kind of very fascinated.
Burgess, be a darling and get Miss Belle a little something to eat. Just keep your hands away from her mouth.
What for?
Chew everything.
Message received.
Chicken bite.
Right away, madam.
Right now,
Bite.
Niles is trying to calculate how fast he can extricate himself from this picnic without committing a social faux pas.
He just wants to give himself to the werewolves.
Yeah.
Just take
He's looking in the tree line. Are there any werewolves over there?
Niles, would you like to join me in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, I would. Definitely. Let us go to the kitchens, far away from here. Unrelated to any other events that have happened here.
Niles, darling, do you think we could talk a little later? You know, I still feel horrible about what I did, and I just...
Yes, of course.
I would like for us to put it behind us and continue our friendship like it used to be.
Niles, we must get food for our lady.
Yeah, okay, I gotta go to the kitchen right now. I'll be back and we'll definitely talk. And he sprints towards the house.
Oh, wait up there, chap.
At this point, Belle's under the blanket. You just see a lump.
So I'm immediately spending a resolve.
House.
Immediately spending a resolve. Niles sprints through the house, knocking down servants, and there's a man who's just arrived on a horse. He now sprints out the front door, flying, tackles the man off the horse, lands on it, and spurs it to a gallop away from this place.
Wow. He did not like that.
He's going to get a gun.
Oh, God.
No, Niles is extricating himself from this nightmare.
Burgess is standing next to one of the servants and says, "Oh, man must have had a urge for the privy." Then Burgess goes and prepares some food on a plate.
on a plate.
Okay, so Burgess
Belle?
Burgess comes out carrying food on a platter with different plates on it.
Oh, Burgess comes out.
Yeah.
But he has a servant walking next to him who's
of course.
carrying a tray with the plate.
And Lucy says, "Oh, no, darling. Do you have any bowls?"
Say again.
Belle prefers to eat her food out of a bowl, you
It's
see.
fine. And what Belle does, she grabs the front of her dress and pulls it up and like kind of makes a little parachute out of it for the plate to be dumped into. She's wearing like the very frilly like undergarments, which she had never worn before in her life. But she's
Sure.
telling him to dump the food into her.
Burgess stares for a moment with his hand over his mouth and says, "Mata, you heard her." And she just tips the tray over and pours all the food into Belle's dress.
Belle plops down and just shoves her head face first into the food. Looks up with food dripping off her chin and goes, "Corn." And then goes back to eating.
So, Mr. Custard Bath, isn't she fascinating?
She really is. I really can't explain the preoccupation with her behavior that I'm experiencing.
I found her at my mansion. She was eating the shrubbery.
Oh.
This just happened yesterday, but we spent the night together, and I have to tell you, she is now my closest and dearest friend.
Bush good. She looks up and there's a corn kernel hanging out of her nose.
I tell you what, I look at her, and it does not surprise me that those Americans won the war.
I say, do you think she would mind if I introduced myself properly?
Yes, but do me a favor. Do not look her directly in the eye. She will take it as a sign of aggression.
Oh, I never do.
I've never done that.
Burgess kind of steps over, feeling a little bit more confident now that
She's been fed.
and just kind of holds out his hand and takes her hand kind of lightly, the way you do, and says, "My dear, my name is. I've been dying to introduce myself. It's such a pleasure to meet you. My name is Custard Bath. Well, Burgess Custard Bath. If you want to know the whole dash of thing."
Belle. Charmed.
Fascinating.
And she realized she's being like flirted with, so she wipes the food off the front of her dress.
Sure, yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I'll get that. Burgess pulls out the tiniest possible handkerchief from his pocket and begins to dab it like delicately.
So your character just bailed.
Oh yeah, he got out.
So funny.
He was could not. So I'm gonna bring in Christine, who is one of Belle's connections, who pities Belle. Christine is idealistic, a good Samaritan. She's married, and I assume she's in Lucy's circle of connections.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
she's one of the good Frankenberries.
Yeah, she's one of the Frankenberries from the Sandbottom Frankenberries. So Christine arrives late. She doesn't have a carriage because she's not that genteel. She walks on with her basket. She walks up and just stands a polite distance away until Lucy recognizes her. And she waves to Lucy.
Oh, hello, Christine.
Oh, hello.
Fran.
Yes, hello, Belle. I'm happy to see you out in the sun and this warm country weather. It'll be good for your disposition.
Corn.
Yes, corn, yes.
Mr. Custard Bath.
Yes.
Would you like to see something that's really fascinating that Belle does?
I literally can't wait.
Christine throws a handful of old dried corn out on the grass like someone throwing it to pigeons in front of Belle.
Belle gets to pecking.
What was that it?
No, wait. There's more.
And she's slamming her head in the ground. She comes up with a bloody nose.
Lucy claps her hands twice and says, "Belle, tree."
Belle goes scurrying up a tree.
Oh, she's so fascinating, isn't she?
Christine, do you know her well?
I met her yesterday afternoon.
Oh, so you're an expert then. Will you?
Oh, yes.
Can I escort you to the pond where you can tell me more about her?
Oh, I would be happy to tell you everything about this savage from the wild continent of North America.
Oh, you and your terms of endearment.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to introduce another side character that was created that we didn't introduce earlier, but like we said, we have these options of introducing them. This is Jonathan Hamwhistle. He's a 55-year-old military man, Army major. His relationship, he's the one who discovered Belle in America. There was, after the Revolutionary War, North Carolina tried to secede.
Sure. Of course. Yeah.
And, the English were still sore about it, so they sent troops over, and Jonathan was one, and he met Belle. Belle was actually, it was like a first blood situation. She had killed many American soldiers.
Yeah.
But just by running through the woods of North Carolina and
American or British soldiers?
Well, they were trying to secede.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
yeah, it was like a really shitty civil war.
So the British were fighting on the side of the North Carolinians.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's an annual practice.
They weren't over there long.
They quickly realized their mistake and left.
But Jonathan, he's listed as good-humored and well-educated. He's fascinated by Belle, so he brought her back kind of to study her. He at the end of the day, he doesn't care about her at all.
Right, she's a curiosity.
Yeah, he wants to study her and maybe get rich by publishing his study. So we assign these characters that we didn't choose earlier. Like my one I chose was Austin's dad, Edwin. I'm going to assign Jonathan Hamwhistle to Todd.
All right.
So Christine takes Burgess, Custard Bath, out to the pond, which is a little bit away from the picnic area where Belle is savaging the ground like a chicken desperate for a worm. And also out there is Jonathan Hamwhistle, who Christine knows. Hamwhistle is the one who actually brought Belle to England. Christine explains all that as they're going out to the pond. Hamwhistle's probably out there standing resolute with like some ridiculous elephant gun or something.
Right. He's admiring this. There's a very ornate bird bath in the Custard Bath pond, but in the middle of it, it has what looks like a big pile of pudding.
Jesus Christ.
The birds bathe in this?
Custards.
Custard baths are not known for their subtlety of humor.
Christine and Lou, thank you so much for taking care of this creature of mine. She escaped yesterday, and I was terribly concerned about what had happened to her.
Yes. Once I caught a badger and a sack. And this is far more dangerous. This is my friend Burgess. He is quite the gentleman. This is Mr. Hamwhistle. Major Hamwhistle.
Pleased to meet you, lad.
Major, it's a pleasure. Are you quite all right?
I'm fine.
He has COVID. It sounds like.
Oh, just a bit of the old war wound. You see, I've been shot in the lungs 5 times.
Bit of an old war wound.
There's visible sunlight coming through Hamwhistle's chest.
I've also been bitten in the chest by a human.
So, tell me, chap, what do you think of Belle?
Oh, she's such a fascinating creature. Wait, that's not offensive, is it?
No, I don't believe she speaks English.
No, you can call her anything you want, sir.
That's even more interesting.
She's an American. You know how they are.
Have you been to America, Major? Have you run across her?
Well, I was the one who found her in America during the Great North Carolina Uprising.
Oh, which one?
It was the third one. I was sent there to suppress it. And,
One every 8 months.
Major, is it true that all Americans live in trees and put sticks in their hair?
Oh, it's absolutely true.
Yes.
That's where I found her, in a tree.
And they worship a great stuffed bear named Hogswallop.
Professor Hogswallop, I think it is.
I'm sorry, that is absolutely inaccurate. No, Hogswallop is actually a giant hog.
That is another one of their deities.
Yes. Well, Major, I believe it wouldn't be fair to say, and she looks slyly towards Burgess, that Mr. Custard Bath is quite taken with Belle.
Oh, is that right?
In a very scientific way, as of right now.
Oh, well, jolly good, because you see, the reason why I brought her here to England was because I want to have her, I'm going to have her studied by scientists. As a matter of fact, I have her vivisection scheduled for next week.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
my word. Custard Bath faints.
What's a vivisection?
It's where we are. Well, those are science types, the scientists. They take a very sharp knife and split her from head to toe, just like you would gut a deer.
Will that hurt?
I don't believe Americans actually have feelings. They're kind of like fish that way.
Very
Custard
good.
Beth slowly stirs and gets to his feet.
At this point, you guys hear a splash and turn towards the pond, and you see Belle sitting in the custard bird bath, kind of rubbing it on her arms.
Christine just keeps the same placid look on her face, but inside, her Englishness is screaming.
Wash,
So demure.
sweet mud.
Why, Lucy, I believe our young Mr. Custard Bath has taken more than a scientific liking to old Belle.
Yes, quite taken.
Wash,
Why,
Starting
yes,
to
I...
border on immoral.
tay in the wind.
First time in history those words were spoken.
Those beautiful words.
Oh, Mr. Custard Bath, have you taken a liking to our Belle?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
If you do have more than a passing fancy in the old girl, you have, like I said, 1 week before she is donating her body to science.
Jesus.
Smart man.
Christine, how much do you know about her already? How much have you gotten to speak with her?
Oh, virtually not at all.
Urine.
She just screams one word, just one word usually.
It's very fascinating. Tell me, has anyone seen Niles? He went inside and he has not come back.
Oh, he fled, I believe.
He fled.
Yes.
Oh, Potter, probably.
Christine, did you pass him on the road?
Yes, I saw him coming in. He was quite
Probably.
in a hurry. Probably a war.
Probably because of me. Of course, you all know how close Niles and I used to be, and then I did that horrible thing.
I didn't know that. He's become quite moody in my presence, quite often.
Well, I would give absolutely anything to reestablish a relationship I had with Mr. Niles, but I'm afraid what I did might have been unforgivable.
Chum.
So, like, there's two servants in the background with a hose and just are hosing Belle off in the bird bath.
She's confused by the hose, and it's kind of like ever see a dog trying to drink out of a hose. It's like that.
Just running and jumping towards the water.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lay this on the line here.
Water snake. Fun.
Wait a minute. Should Lucy go ahead and reveal to the rest of them what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Jacobite.
I'm sorry, it might not be proper, but I just have to get this off of my chest. The reason why Niles and I splintered our friendship is because of something horrible I did after the 6th victory at North Carolina Ball.
Oh, I had no idea.
I was feeling remarkably gassy that night, and I could not stop myself, but...
Fart.
Exactly, Belle, exactly. And I spent the entire night blaming my flatulence on him, and he's not forgiven me, and I don't know if he ever will.
In the background, Christine is luring Belle off of the bird bath with a piece of raw pork. Just throws it towards the woods.
Eat. Belle scampers into the woods.
Oh, wait, I have a remarkable idea. Okay, so, Miss Lucy, if you would like to repair your relationship with, Mr. Witherpick, doesn't he have a sister who is a doctor?
Christine approaches. Yes, his sister Evelyn is a physician.
Perhaps, I bet she would like to get a look at old Nell over here before we, sent her off to, her doom.
That's really what's hanging in Burgess's mind right now. Now he sees a woman in danger.
I'm glad we have this countdown to Belle's destruction. Everyone's quite blasé about it. Except, of course, for Burgess, who's traumatized by
I think
losing
I can
his
fix
love.
her.
Meat party. She's chewing the raw meat.
Perhaps, Evelyn would like to, take a look at old Belle and, perhaps bring her brother Niles along, and that'll give you an opportunity to be alone and perhaps patch things up.
What if Dr. Evelyn with a Pick had a symposium with Belle as the central star. Maybe Lucy could patch things up with Niles there. And
That is an absolutely splendid idea. Thank you so much, Christine. And Mr. Custard Bath, if you would like, I can work on setting you up on a short courtship
So
with Belle.
Is this like the Elephant Man they're displaying her? Like,
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Beautiful.
I believe I can take care of that little bit. And this lovely woman approaches the group. It's Marion Poppins, a distant cousin of Lucy, who's very obsessed with her and her endeavors. Lucy, if you want to concentrate on your relationship with Mr. Niles, I can take care of fixing up Mr. Custard Bath here with our newest guest.
Oh, no, don't bother yourself with that. I mean,
I insist.
well, insist all you want, but I have this well at hand. Thank you. And she turns to Christine and Ham Whistle and says, poor thing, can't stop drinking the laudanum.
So I think that scene should probably end there. We've introduced some characters. We have
A little bit.
We have an obvious next scene. But that would be the end of the novel chapter entitled Belle's Debut.
Okay.
Belle of the Ball.
So this leads to the reputation phase where we essentially review the previous scene or scenes
God.
and
looking
assign
forward to this.
reputations. So this creates reputation tags and can trigger reputation conditions if applicable.
So what kind of tag is there for you're romantically pursuing a mentally deficient person?
Well, I
Well,
think,
hold on. I do want to point out, Belle is not mentally
No.
disabled.
No.
She's
She's an American.
American redneck.
yeah, I think we.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, we stay away from the mentally deficient.
Yeah,
thing.
I can reconcile that in my heart.
So, okay. So reputation. Let's do Belle first.
Okay.
So and let's start with the negatives.
Okay.
So what are her negative tags under reputation criteria?
Okay, gain a negative tag if you acted in contravention of society's conventions. Maybe a little.
Okay, so let's just put savage.
Acted on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality.
So what's your character's desire?
It's selfishness. It's kind of
I
broad.
don't think you acted on it.
Yeah, probably not. There's more to Belle than meets the eye as well. I will tell you all that.
Well,
Okay.
but Belle didn't really pursue any desires in that. Like, she kind of just did her own thing.
Not outwardly, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't think that would apply.
Okay. Acted in a way that would shame or embarrass your place of origin. I think she acted exactly how people from North Carolina to this very day act. It would not shame them a bit.
Agreed.
They don't have shared restrooms.
So Belle gains one negative tag. What are your potential positive gains?
Gain a positive tag if you acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so.
Also no.
Well, I'm going to say she...
No, this is English society.
Oh, okay.
Not North Carolina hoodlums.
I just want to point out she was acting very fancy compared to how she acts in North Carolina.
Again,
Okay.
just because she's crossing her bar.
Okay. Made a sacrifice or denied your own desires to uphold the values of your place of origin.
Okay, well, specifically, this would mean denying your own desires in terms of whatever your desire card is.
Yeah, which is selfishness.
Which didn't really come into play.
Sure.
So, like, for that, like, you would need to be unselfish.
Okay.
So,
So I got one negative.
you got
thing
one
there.
negative, which is way fewer than I expected.
Okay, cool.
So, Austin, do you want to start with your negatives first?
Acted in contravention of society's conventions.
I think so because you're actively pursuing a subhuman troglodyte.
Yeah.
And romantically.
Yeah. Acted on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality
Okay, so what's your character's desire?
to fall in love and boost the reputation of the subject of my love
Oh.
so that I can get my parents' permission to marry them.
She can only marry up.
So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, in terms of like Jane Austen society, like we know Austen's character will act in contravention of conventions, but he hasn't yet, right? In terms of what he actually did at the picnic, like he didn't actually make any courtship intent towards Belle. Yeah,
Gotcha.
like that would be a contradiction, but he didn't do that. He basically just asked questions about her, which it would be perfectly normal to ask questions about a new arrival to town, right?
I have many questions about Belle.
There's a lot. So what's your third negative tag qualifier?
Allowed others of lesser rank to talk down to you or treat you as an inferior.
I don't think you did that.
No.
I don't know that you did any of those.
No. So the positive tags are acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires. Don't think so.
No.
Acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so.
Well, you didn't just drop to your knee and propose immediately.
And make a sacrifice or denied your desires to uphold the superiority of your rank.
I think
That may be a choice that's coming.
Yeah, I think that's coming. Like you got closest to those, but I don't know that any of them got pushed over. So my character Niles, his getting a negative trait if you act in contravention of society's conventions. No. Acted on a desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality. No.
You drop kicked a man off a horse.
That's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think that would fall under publicly display. Well, no, yeah, it's probably more contravention than public. Yeah, but he was a peasant.
Oh, well.
Was
He wasn't of the gentleman. No, Niles would never drop kick a gentleman.
Was it an American? Because that
It would have been
that
no. It
would
would have just been a
fine,
commoner.
according to our world of England in 1783. Americans are a step below dog, tiny step above.
Publicly displayed strong emotions. No, he didn't. I mean, he could have acted in
I
contravention.
would disagree because it's a
bolted.
pretty strong emotion. Him running, attacking him.
Well, I think that's the contravention, not the public display. Because like he left, so he didn't publicly display strong emotions.
I
Because
see.
if he would have
I
stuck
see.
around, he would have really lost his shit.
Yeah, that's why he did it.
Wow.
Someone shoot that creature.
Shoot it! It's a bear. So I'll say. So he's got reckless. We'll say rash. Positives: acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires. I mean, his desire is to get money. I don't think his desires came into it. Todd?
My negatives. I gain a negative tag if acted in contravention of society's conventions. I would say yes. I'm the one who brought Belle to the picnic.
Maybe. I mean, but I think from Lucy's perspective, she's bringing a curiosity. It's like bringing...
Oh, she was pumped about it. She's like, wait till they get a load of this thing.
But it's like bringing like a brightly covered parakeet.
right. It's
Right?
it's bringing your dumb iguana to like.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till the guys get a whole load of this thing.
But here's the thing: it says society's conventions, not her own. We're talking about society's conventions. I brought an American to a society picnic.
Sin number one.
True.
My second one is acted on desire in a way that compromised my duty or morality. That has nothing to do with my desire.
No.
My desire is Niles.
Yeah.
And the last one is acted in an uncouth, low class, or vulgar manner. So I'm saying it's either the first one or the last one.
I think it's still the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Lucy wasn't vulgar. She could have been,
can
but she
be.
wasn't in that instance. So should she have
Brashness?
brash? Yeah, brash.
Yeah.
Brazen.
Yes. Ooh, brazen. That's
yeah,
right.
brazen.
There you
I
go.
like that one.
Now, Lucy, that is her third negative. So what that means is, Todd, on your
She
sheet,
had more negatives than
yeah,
Belle.
than
Well,
Belle.
remember,
Belle,
she started-
Belle has uncouth and savage.
Yeah,
Well,
she started out with
She
something.
started with 2
Oh.
because of Lucy's is a meddler. So she started with vulgar and unfortunate connections, which,
Oh, okay.
and in this case, the unfortunate
well.
connections would be
Obviously. I wonder what it is.
the Americans. So you have on the bottom right hand side of your character sheet, you should have 2 positive reputation triggers
Yes.
and 2 negatives. Unless I read the rules wrong, you pick one of the 2 negatives that essentially is activated.
One is mind your own business. Others distrust you and refuse to participate in your schemes and plans. Or there is fracture. Someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you.
Now that generally means when it's talking about fracture, that's generally a connection. So Mary Poppins,
So, so I'm going to make a suggestion that you've already
Yes.
fractured a relationship with Marion Poppins.
because
She gossiped about her laudanum addiction.
good
did.
call. Yeah.
There you go.
So Mark fracture and I just say just make a note like Marion. Okay, so now we're doing the rumor and scandal phase. This is where we go around the table and every player can create or spread a rumor. When you create a rumor, you just write down a brief rumor. If you spread it, you essentially make that a playable feature of the game. And if somebody invokes that rumor in the epistolary or novel chapter phase, you get a resolve. If it changes the story. Like if there was a rumor, Bob punched a police officer, and Corey wrote that, and then Austin spread it, and then epistolary, Todd invoked it, so Bob got arrested, and that changed the story, then Todd would pocket that resolve.
Okay.
And we're not doing this as our characters, correct?
No, these are not as our characters. These are just rumors going around town, presumably from what has come before. So, for example, we started with a rumor, Lucy had an affair with Vermeer, and she's the model for a girl with a pearl painting.
The pearl earrings woman?
Yeah,
Yes.
pearl earrings, and that started spread because of something Todd had on Lucy's character.
Yes.
Now, nobody invoked that in the first scene, and we got to rumor and scandal, so that's going to fade out, meaning that if that doesn't get invoked before the next rumor and scandal phase, we cross it out, and it's just a rumor that never has any effect on society.
Okay, so when we make up a rumor, it has to appear before we go through this rumor phase again, or we mark it out, right?
Well, essentially, it can survive 2 rumor phases,
Okay.
is my understanding.
Okay.
So, I'll go through the rumors that have been generated and tell you whether or not they were spread.
So off air, we came up with
Yeah, we already
all
wrote
of
the
these
rumors.
Yep.
and chose to spread any that we might have. We each got 2 turns. We passed it around twice, and everybody either created a rumor or helped spread an existing rumor.
Yeah.
These are all quality. So the first rumor is that Belle ate a man at the picnic. That did not get spread around. The next one is that Burgess is in love with Belle. That did get spread around.
So that's the talk of the town now.
The third new one is that the Custard Bath house cook is bad at cooking corn.
Oh, scandalous.
Not spread. The fourth new one is that Niles shot a man and stole his horse. That did get spread around. Now, as you might have guessed, some of these are true and some are not.
Yes.
But again, to genteel society, it doesn't matter. Fifth is that Niles shot a horse and kidnapped a man.
Basically rode the man out away from the scene.
That has not been spread around yet.
Well, if it's a commoner, it's fine.
Right.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, American.
And the final new one is that Marion is prostituting herself for laudanum. Reminder: Marion is
Marion
Lucy's
Poppins.
connection. Marion Poppins.
Yeah.
played by Austin. So
Really got the short end of the stick in this.
yeah, that is the rumor and scandal phase. The next phase is the epistolary phase.
Oh, God.
So each major character or each player can write up to 2 letters from a major character or a connection. You don't have to, you can. So Todd, do you want to start, and then we'll go around to me, and then to
Absolutely.
Austin and Corey?
I have 2 letters
Okay.
that I wrote. The first one is written by my character, Lucy. My dearest Mr. Custard Bath, thank you again for your hospitality toward my lovely friend Belle at the picnic. I sense that you were as dismayed as I at the prospect of her vivisection. Also, you should know that the talk of the town is that you have an amorous feeling toward the poor creature. I'm writing to you in the hope that these rumors are true and that you will help me find a way to stop Major Hamwhistle's plan to donate our American friend to science. Sincerely, Lucy Crockpot. And my second letter is written by Major Hamwhistle.
Oh, no.
Dear Miss Evelyn Witherpick, how would you like to dissect an American for science?
Perfect.
Get back to me soon, as it is scheduled within the week. Yours, Major Hamwhistle.
Here are my 2. The first one is from Niles to his sister Evelyn. Oh, hey there, dear sister. I was aghast at the picnic that horrid Lucy brought an American. Well, I fled straight away, as is right and proper. And to my misfortune, I may have assaulted a vagrant for his horse. Unfortunately, I'm being questioned by the constable. Can you come bail me out? your brother Niles. So I'm invoking the rumor. Niles shot a man and stole his horse, and that was spread. So I'm basically this rumor is Niles is under questioning, so he can't come to the symposium. So I'm gonna take a resolve for him.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's to his benefit to go to the symposium to advance his desires, because you can only advance your desires when you're in scenes. The other one is from Christine. To my dearest Belle, can you read? With love, Christine. That's all. Austin?
All right. Both of these letters are from Burgess Custard Bath. The first one is to Marion Poppins. Dearest Marion, I hope this missive finds you well and not in the throes of false passion with some enabling hooligan whose money you seek simply for the solace of opium's tender kiss. I want you to know that I feel for you and your solemn sense of rejection from your well-meaning cousin. I pledge myself to you in that anything you may need, you can rely upon me. I don't want to see your sweet face fall into the dismay of addiction. I am, as always, your humble servant, Burgess. P.S. If you could possibly tell me where you get your laudanum, that would be most appreciated. And the second is to Dearest Belle. I hope, in keeping with our charming introduction of the previous Tuesday, that you would not find me so bold, whether in person or in writing, as I have not seen you since that first grand picnic, to inquire as to whether you would be pleased for me to attend this fascinating symposium on Monday next, as I would very much love to get to know you further. Check yes or no. Yours, Burgess Custard Bath.
Is that the equivalent of like getting a text like an hour after the date?
Yeah.
right. You gotta wait a little
And
bit.
Bell's like 3 days. 3 days? Is that
3 moons.
3 moon.
fair point, Todd?
Okay, Belle has 2 letters as well.
Oh, God.
Here's the first letter. Dear Santa Claus. It's Belle again. How are you? I am just okay. My plan has started. They think all Americans have gopher brains. We're smarter than that. I hope soon I can seduce a wealthy English man and use his fortune to fund NCW 7. That's the North Carolina War.
No, we got it. Yeah,
7.
sure. Their rebellion against the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, against all around aggression. I think it will happen soon. Many people here think I'm neat. I don't pretend to understand all their fluffy words. In particular, they keep saying vivisection, which I think means they're planning a birthday party. For me, I hope they don't make corn because they bad at it. I'm invoking the rumor to Santa Claus that they make bad corn. Well, I better get going now. Hopefully between the English man money and the spears you will deliver for me on Christmas, North Carolina will triumph and gain independence. Then we can deal with South Carolina. Also, I hope my cricket farm's okay. Yours truly, Belle.
Is it? I think I prefer it if the part of North Carolina that Belle's from is trying to gain independence from North Carolina.
Yeah, no, they have no idea how big North Carolina is. I mean, it's just these little pockets of resistance. Like
It's just that one island off Crystal Beach or whatever.
her second letter is actually a reply to Burgess,
Oh,
and she drew one of those hand turkeys.
yeah. Now, is that considered a check? Yes, or
It's a maybe.
the maybe turkey?
Jesus Christ.
Oh dang! Got a maybe turkey. It's like a text. It's like
Letter to Santa Claus.
The first emoji.
Okay, now that I've had a hernia.
Oh, God.
All right, so that is going to conclude this session of Good Society. a lot happened.
Ideas were introduced.
Strangely, this game is much more action-packed than Dune was.
Yes, I did not see really any of this coming.
I've learned a lot.
Next week, we're going to pick up with a new novel chapter, continuing the drama in Sandbottom, a quaint English village
Of
visited,
the week Bell came to town.
visited by an American.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting and fun, and I'm sure it'll probably just peter out into a normal Jane Austen kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias and all that jazz. We do have a Patreon. And thank you again to all our Patreon subscribers. That's patreon.com/bastardquest. Got cool stuff on there. And then bonus episodes. Should have a new bonus episode coming up soon.
And also thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond.
Yep, we're drinking whiskey.
All right, so thank you for listening to Bastard Quest. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
And Corey.
I'm Austin.